Wagwan, Mr. Maps.
Yo, what it do, what it is.
What it is, big man. Are you alive and kicking?
Yeah, I'm good. We were just talking now with things are hectic in life right now. We're both busy as fuck, tired as fuck. But I know, we're here for the people, them. We're here for the people.
That's the one. Yeah, we have to still do the damn thing because we have. I almost, because I was doing a whole lot of things, Izolo, and even today, I almost like, should I say let's postpone? And I'm like, no, but we already skipped the other week, so we must.
Yeah, there's still too much
have
PTSD.
Of care.
Still a bit of PTSD. They'd be very angry, you know. So yeah. Judging by the listens on this past episode, we were missed. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But we appreciate the support. Say I support, but
absolutely. We actually got some podcast stats. But before we even get into that, guys, welcome back. It is another episode of 6 Foot Weights, your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys. My name is Tabo.
My name is Senna.
Did I say my name is Tabo? Did I say your name is Tabo?
You said your name is Tabo. You got it right.
Okay.
Guys, I went to the gym today. He did deadlifts. Now he's struggling.
Hey. No. Uputin usenzile, guys. Uputin. Ngiyatshela so. That guy is not okay. We've lost a great owner because of Putin. And no, siyakhala, bruh. Siyakhala up at Stanford Bridge.
So anyway. what's the Chelsea took Tabo to the gym, guys. In case you forgot, in case you don't follow him on socials, Tabo went to the gym and did deadlifts. Yeah. For those who don't go to the gym, I think deadlifts are top up there with squats as probably the most intense workout in terms of just engaging all the muscles in the body. Yeah. So whenever I see someone doing squats or deadlifts midweek, I know to corner something Okshaya Manzi.
I was doing supersets, Baba. Supersets. The whole hour it was supersets. And I was just like, Izolo, I left cuddles. And I was like, no, the team's playing. It's because of my time zone. The game kicked off at 11:15. No, 11:15. That's when the game kicked off on my side. Now imagine you've left cuddles, you've left the warmth of the bed and the bosom, and you're now wedwa under the nguo on the couch, and then Sterling is like, right, homie, it's worth it, sharp. I'm like, yeah, Azichi. And then it was downhill from there. And then he stuck holding an L at it's probably 1 a.m. by that point. And you just have to sit and reflect and like, was it all worth it? You know? Like, as in football. Yeah.
You know what's funny? When we beat Southampton over the weekend, it was like, United didn't play well. You're lucky to come away with all 3 points. You know, Southampton aren't even that great this season. Shea Adams dominated Lisandro Martinez. So, even though he won all his aerial duels, right? And then Chelsea played them yesterday, and I was like, you really liachiga, guys. Like, the wheel. Yeah. But you know what? I think this is gonna be an interesting season for you guys. I think Chelsea are the most unpredictable team. Like United, people don't expect us to do much this season. Fair enough, right? Because we were shit last season. We're going through a transition, new manager, blah blah blah. Yeah, I think a lot of people had Chelsea shoot in for third or second.
Not second. It was definitely third. I think we were the best of the worst. It was us and Tottenham, based on Tottenham's spending spree and the quality that they were able to get in over the summer. But yeah, Chelsea was on the upper end of the rest of the top 6. But fam, like I think the thing with us, we play up to our competition. So I know if Liverpool pulls up, it's gonna be a hell of a game. I know that for a fact. Spurs pulled up and we bossed that game. We should have won that game. And it's a pretty good Spurs team. You guys see how Spurs is playing. Kates, it's a good team. So I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Man.
they're focused. They're focused.
The same Leeds that waxed us 3-0 or whatever the score was goes and loses. Who did they lose to? Brighton? Or I can't remember who they lost to. They lost to some funny team this past weekend. And it's just like, bro, like,
Who?
as in
Leeds.
Leeds, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
annoying. It's annoying. And then, these ones get beaten by Man U 1-0. Tina, they come and say, Tina. It's just like, personally, the way I am emotionally is, I think Thomas Tuchel is on my hot seat, personally. If I was Bowley, I'd fire him by December. If this is going to be the trend, because for the simple reason, people are saying, yeah, our midfield is not good enough, certain players are not good enough, or Asby are old, they need to go. I 110% agree. But Tuchel came in,
Yeah.
and with the same guys, exactly the same team for like 90% of the team, he won a Champions League. So you can't tell me, Uti, all of a sudden, when as a coach, you came in, you rejuvenated the squad, you got the best out of Mount, Pulisic, ZH, all these ones.
Yeah.
You got the best out of them. All of a sudden, they don't know how to score? Nah, fam. Not all of a sudden our goals come from defenders.
No, Tuchel won the Champions League on that whole new manager bounce thing, right?
Yeah.
I think he was better than Lampard. So that momentum carried through right to the Champions League final.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, right, and I think he's a better manager than what you'll get out there. And I think when you look, and I said this in a couple episodes ago, right?
There, bro.
I don't think Poch is better than Tuchel.
I think Poch will get better offensive results out of us. We might be shit in defending, but we already are shit in defending. So how far down can we go?
Because I think Chelsea, it's a personnel issue mixed with a lot of poor planning. Because I look at it, look at why'd you guys buy Cucurella when you already have Chilwell, right? It's not like Cucurella's a bad player; he's decent, but dude, for 60 million, go get a central midfielder. Like,
but I'm not mad at the Cucurella buy though. Like, I think because I've seen Chilwell, the few minutes that he's played in the few games, he doesn't look 100% healthy. He doesn't have the Chilwell bounce. He seems timid, disinterested. Like, he just does not seem like the Chilwell pre-injury last year. So again, if it was a season-ending injury, and usually those you need like another season playing football to get back to where you were. So I'm not mad at all. That the Cucurella buy, based on the way this guy plays and stuff, I'm very, very happy with it. For Fofana, I'm like, okay, that we weren't desperate. Like, the defenders we have now, we've got Chalobah, we've got a couple different guys, So I didn't think the Fofana money should have gone towards getting a fantastic, creative midfielder. And ZH, I think ZH is really good. Yeah, there was a pass he put in yesterday. Yay! It was a peach of a pass, bro. Crossfield item. And I was just like, you know what? This guy needs to play. Like, I'd need my Kante, Fernandinho type player, and then put ZH on the right and let him cook. That's what I would do. And just be like, listen, I just want you to attack, do what you do. But I don't think, I don't know, it's either he plays like he's playing out of position. Like, in terms of the way that he's just not, he'll have one moment of brilliance and then disappear. I don't know. But I think...
I'd have taken ZH. I haven't taken ZH at United, but I think Anthony is just as good.
Yeah, but Fernandes is the same player. It's the same player. So, I
think your problems are definitely... With a striker, you're going to get Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang is the next best thing.
But the problem is, why get Aubameyang if the service is still going to be shit? To Sterling, with Twilenzima, right? I'm sure you're just like, going from service from KDB, Gundogan, all these ballers, Bernardo Silva, and then Santiago Mount.
Now I'm feeding off scraps, fam.
Because Sterling, the reason why why Chone Wela, bro? Sterling, like, his goals, like, there's very few goals of Sterling where it's like, this was an individual.
It hits him.
well, I'm a goals there. Like, but and again,
Like the
credit
ball
to you if you can turn a
hits him
career.
and then it ends up in the net.
Yeah, even the goal that he scored yesterday, it was one of those like the one he was meant to score, he didn't score. But this one, his positioning is fantastic. He's just right place, right time, tap in Sterling. And it was funny because beIN Sports was doing a highlight reel of Sterling's best moments at Manchester City. Bruh, I was laughing, dog. Because 60% of those goals was just literally someone's taken a shot, keeper failed to save, there was Sterling.
Then it hit him.
But anyway, hey, credit to the guy.
He definitely doesn't kick the ball properly. He doesn't kick the ball properly. Like, it's one thing I've realized. Like, he doesn't strike it with proper conviction. But look, he's got like super skill and great control and a low center of gravity, which allows him to move with the ball at high speeds, which is very useful. What I'm struggling to see is where your goals are going to come from without a striker. Like, obviously Aubameyang has been mentioned, but he's out for 3 weeks.
Our defenders always Pete Uris, executive.
Nako is also injured.
Cucurella, no, I thought he was sick. He was just a bit sick. I don't think he's injured. But yeah, Luis, Cucurella, Koulibaly, those ones who scored. Thiago Silva. It was the same. What was funny, all our goals were coming from defenders beginning of last season as well. People were like, hey, Thomas Tuchel, amazing. Hey, wow, boys are cooking. Then Reece went down. Cho went down. Yeah, that's where the season went to the shitter for us. But anyway, Mr. Moy, let's not get carried away with this football chat. We've got some housekeeping to get into. Big housekeeping. First thing on the docket is we're gonna have a guest on the pod a bit later who's gonna join us, and we're gonna have a good bit of fun. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. If you're on social media, if you follow us, if you interact with us on 6 Foot Weights on Twitter, then because it's you, the people, that were asking. You said, listen, we need the Cheese Boys to do what the Cheese Boys do best, which is get answers. And we're like, all right, we're going to get you those motherfucking answers. So we're good. That's enough of an appetizer for the people to be like, okay, cool, I see where this is going, and it's going to be exciting stuff. I can't wait. I know Senna can't wait. We're just going to have a good time with it. And then the second announcement is, again, the people them said, hey, come through. We want to support the pod. We want to open our wallets. The Shona listener said, listen, we want to make it rain. I don't know what it is.
It's definitely not the Ndebele listener.
But you know what? This is your opportunity.
I love my people, but
it's an opportunity to prove us wrong. Say this Ndebele slander is absolutely unacceptable. And in order to prove us wrong, we have opened, show H-Town Twitter. Show I want to be Haraduguti. No, listen, thanks, but no thanks. We've got the boys. If you go to buymeacoffee.com/6footweights, we officially have an account. Our coffees are $3, $2, $2. Yeah, $2 per coffee.
Astur.
Very cheap. Yeah. For a fantastic coffee. No. It's a bargain. So yeah, guys, do the things. The link to our Buy Me a Coffee is also on the link tree. So if you're on social media, go to our Twitter, at 6 Foot Weights. Click on the link tree link, the pinned tweet. It'll pop up right there. So yeah, buy us a couple coffees. I was tempted to change it to beers, but so can't be doing that. So instead, support the pod, guys. Again, whatever you want to give is whatever you want to give. We'll be happy with anything and everything, unless you're Ayanda Sfuna at least I'm 20. So we
want those USDs,
bruh. Like, listen, we need those Joe Bidens. We need those, especially with your dismal fantasy performance. You owe us money, dog. But anyway, Anyway, I'm joking. I'm joking. So
That's
anyway,
weekly
guys.
slander out of the way. No, it's
Yeah,
necessary. It's
exactly. There
necessary.
we go. Hey, we should be part of housekeeping. And there's weekly slanders out of the way. Good to go. But yeah, guys, buy me a coffee set up. So give as your spirit leads. I wish I was like a proper Ndebele guy who could give like that whole speech in Ndebele. I don't know if they do this because again, Catholic churches are much more what's this thing, like there's much more structure and less
Yeah.
personality, if I can say, whereas if you go
No,
come
that's true.
like to SDA churches or a Pentecostal and whatever, where Mfundisi gets to cook, when they're asking for imali yomnikelo lapana, they give you that guilt trip speech lapana. Fam. You feel bad, bro.
That's a funny thing. How do you actually? I know it wasn't a topic that we planned on discussing, but I just want to ask you anyways. How do you feel about in those moments, right? When the Mfundisi is giving the whole making you feel guilty speech in church, right? Because I think as I've gotten older, and this is very unfortunate, and all the Christians and whoever listening, I sometimes feel, especially in Pentecostal churches, Catholic Church tries not to go into that too much, the whole giving whatever thing, but obviously that's the privilege of a well-established church which receives a lot of support and funding, so it doesn't need that much in terms of like finance. But I went to a Pentecostal church in SA, and dude, like they drummed on that thing, giving.
Yeah, no,
Do this, do that,
really?
right? And that's well and fine, like get it. But then at times, it almost feels like this is the most important part of it, like offertory,
Because it is
what we're here for, right? Forget about everything else. We are not trying to sugarcoat this. The bottom line is take out your wallet, hold it up in the air. Like I've seen churches that do this, and if your church does this, look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the church, but it's also fine. But I've seen it happen, right? Like take out your wallet or your card or whatever you have, hold it up, and declare that this is what you're giving to God, which is fine. But it just feels like guys, like now I'm ashamed.
It's Sabatini. They even hit you with the verse. They hit you with some bars from the Bible. So,
but there's the very popular verse which does this. I've forgotten what it's called. It starts. Is it Malachi? Is it? Yes, it is. I received confirmation that it's Malachi, where from people more knowledgeable than I. But it always feels, I think that's the one that a lot of churches go to when they're trying to, it almost feels like guilt trip you into giving, right? Giving should come from your heart. It shouldn't be Uguti, now that Mina Lotabo says fully buy me a coffee, now we must open a book and say, right, we are on 98 episodes, so you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no, honestly.
In that moment, I honestly always feel like, this is awkward. Like, dude, like people are here to serve God. If they feel like giving, they'll give. But I get it. There's a bottom line. There's rent that must be paid. There's salaries.
Yeah, no, honestly, it is what it, like, especially like you said, you from the Catholic side, there's plenty financial support and great structure that we wish other churches could be at that level. Yes, Sabatini, there's a bit of that. There's a bit of that because I think with Ama Pentecostal churches, a lot of them are sort of individual franchises, right? Whereas with Sabata and Catholic churches, it's more of like a franchise thing where all SDA churches, Gulama unions, and what, like where it's a bit more centralized.
So I think the Vatican in Rome even like subsidizes some of the costs for each.
There's a bit of trickle down effect with funding and stuff like that. So, but even with SD, I remember when at our church, just more than 10 years ago, they were trying to build because Antisa bus, right? So we were originally City Church in the Berg, Lapa. You know where City Church is, close, just around the corner from Convent. And
Okay.
the church grew. And wow, like again, there's no real estate there, right? The size of the church was the size of the church, but the members coming in was so clear. So what they did is that they ended up striking a deal with Bus, and they said, right, we want to rent your hall every Saturday, blah, 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 blah. So that was the deal. And then eventually, Bus became its own church. So it used to be like a split division of the City Church, right, in Berg. But then it became its own church. It became Bulawayo East SDA Church. And obviously, now that you are your own church, individual church, you're no longer leaning on another church. You had to now get your own church building because you're renting a whole your school, right? So
Yeah.
they'd come in the morning, decorate, PA
Yeah.
system, all that shit. And I remember when they were trying to raise funds for that item, bro. They also hit with proper speeches. The head elder would come in, hey, Masalon, and then he did a young 10-minute speech talking about, hey, I akuyangisi ukuthi lokho singena church. I'm like, but guys, like, just be like, listen, yo, let's get a church built.
Wait,
I don't even think
I'm
the
trying
building
to.
is finished up
I'm
to now.
actually hearing this. So the way you said this, I'm hearing it with my Ndebele ears coming out of Ndebele.
I know, bro. Listen, like, some of these pastors were wild, bro. They were wild, but hey, I guess it got the sheets because at the time I was a deacon, and we would count the money. So like,
You were a
after
deacon?
offering, yeah, I was a deacon. Come on, bro.
You're a deacon.
I mean, I'm
Wait, no,
these church
Tabo, you can't
missions.
just skate
No,
over
within
that.
these church missions, bro. Within, I did PA system. I was a deacon. I was within, fam. You think my parents were going to allow me to just be just a church member? Nah, fam.
No, my mother tried. I remember there was a time when, so there was all this. So after church, there'd be like a meeting of the youths and the young adults, and there'd be all these things going on, and then this one time, my mom, she tried it with me, like, hey, youth meeting. None of us, me and my sister, like, sharp. And half the time, dude, these things are coming. Also, when you're at CBC, right? Youth meetings on a Saturday. There's cricket that you're playing. There's a rugby compulsory when you're not playing. There's a football match. You have to travel to wherever. You probably wouldn't even come, right? And on top of that, I just felt like, guys, I just went through mass. Can I just enjoy the rest of what's left of my
the
weekend?
rest of the day, bruh.
Yeah, like I have, and they're like, no, you can make friends. I'm like, dude, I have friends at school. I have friends in the neighborhood. I'm not trying to make new friends. And I remember it was just a thing. Tate used to be a thingy at Christ the King. Used to be an altar server.
How?
Yeah. When we were like in Form 1, Form 2. So the altar server, obviously, there's the Fundisi, and then the altar servers are the boys who carry the candles and the
These
wine.
are the ones that
and the
were
Eucharist.
fondled.
Well, I don't know. Not at Christ the King. Not at Christ the King. We don't have those allegations. Although I'm not sure. I'll tell you about the Pious story. You know the Pious story. I think we've spoken about it here. Yeah. So Tate was like an altar server. So I think I was in Form 1 or Form 2. It's like, hey, umtaka matzorera, uyi altar server and uphakathi kwama youth. What? Like, it's fine. You can have the most fun.
Y'all be easy.
Me, I'm good. Y'all be easy. Dog, like I couldn't be shamed into getting into all of that stuff. But obviously your parents move different.
Yeah, no, I was voluntold. So it was one of those things where, like, you just kind of, it happened. I mean, I kind of like being a deacon, to be honest. It was like something to do. So I liked it. So I was down for the cause. So after, offering is collected, we'd go into this little room on the side, and then we would count the sheets. And Brad, was tough though when it was 07, 08 there, where The monies were now out of control. The inflation was out of control. We was in there for time, John.
Yeah.
We was in there for time. This piece is
Okay, so wait. So Tabo, I have to ask you this. I have to ask you this.
Yes.
What wayidla imali yesonto?
Never. No,
really?
We had like we had a lokuze. Like there would be the treasurer, the church treasurer. So after we've collected offering,
yeah,
the deacons will now come into the room to count up the money, and then the treasurer also would come in with us at that point, and then we just like it's literally just we never no one ever stole money, at least at the deacon level. Pezulu, I don't know, bro. There were some stories, but at our level, it was
and that's the funny thing. So I used to be the treasurer of the junior council when I was in upper six. So lower six, you're an aspiring councillor, and then you're like, it's basically politics. You campaign, people vote for you. People voted for me to be the treasurer. So I remember I used to keep monies. So sometimes would be like big monies. We'd like have cake sales, car washes, and whatever. Would raise proper funds.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, after I realized that the guys at CPC were eating Lever's money, I was like, yes, I was like a well-behaved, good child. You know, I found out Hanani and they were eating our money for roses. Oh, and I found out Hanani and they were eating our money for roses. I was like, no, man.
I have a friend.
I was very naive.
I have a friend of mine, long-time friend of mine, from church actually, with Jason. He has this saying, like he always says this anytime some shit happens, right? In terms of us as citizens, some corrupt shit happens. Jason always says this. He says, as the people, Tina, we have the government that we deserve. That's what he always says. Zim has the government it deserves. And I'm always like, no, Jason, come on, whatever. But then now you're talking about the whole situation. It's like, but you know what? At the end of the day, if the people are corrupt, let the corrupt people rule type of thing, you know. But like, he always religiously, he always would say that. With Zim has the government it deserves, bro. Because some of the things that people do,
at lower levels, it mirrors exactly what's happening high up.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's like babies and parents, right? They'll mirror whatever the parents do. So Latin, we mirror whatever our leaders do. Oh yeah, sorry, a little bit of housekeeping that I forgot, Mr. Moy. We did an altar call.
Yeah, bro.
You remember when we were celebrating 50,000 streams? We did an altar call, and we spoke to the gents. We said, Machida, we need your support. We need you all to come through.
Because the numbers weren't making sense. We were like 70-something% women.
Yeah, we were in the 70s. We were in the low 70s in terms of women listening to the pod, and we needed to get something done about that expeditiously. So I'd like to proudly say the gents have heard. They've heard the call, they've seen the bat signal, and they've come to the rescue. I'm happy to announce that we are officially at 58% female listenership, 39% male listenership, and then 2% non-specified. So parati and non-binary. But
no, we
I'm
give
very
that.
happy.
We give that.
I'm happy about that. 39%, a little bit more, gents. Let's push, almost touch 50. We've ramped up the toxicity on the pod, and we are very happy to know that the gents are responding. Even with the interactions on Twitter, I'm starting to see more gents congregating there, and I love it. Oh, Wosisi, we love you guys. We do. This is not to say this is not for you, but we were alarmed at the percentage of ops who were listening, because this we know Uti is not just Sina and Tawa are really cool, this is the cool part. No, we know the ops. So I needed
there's
to
a
get
couple
a bit of dilution into this formula.
Yeah, no, we give thanks. We give thanks, and we're happy that they are listening, and that our
Yeah.
CC are,
Yeah, absolutely.
still within, but the
Absolutely.
gents, it's necessary that we have balanced.
Yeah.
Event we'd actually have it at 50-50. That's when we know that we're doing the best.
Yeah, because one could say, at 70% female listenership, this was quite a sexist podcast. So, we're not about that. We are anti-sexism. So we want we want equality across the board. That's what we
Equal
stand for in this
rights.
podcast. Equal rights, so let the men in there. But I'm glad. This is absolutely wonderful. This is fantastic. Mr. Moy, I wanted to have a quick chat
Yeah,
with you
bo.
here. And there was a thread of not a thread. Someone posted praising Samsung on Twitter, and she was just saying, "Oh man, like Samsung is really like I'm really loving what Samsung is doing." And he posted a picture of him on his phone, which was I think it's the Galaxy Z Fold, and I've been seeing these phones like there's a supermarket that I go to, like our equivalent of Game, right? Game or Macro. And I'll sometimes be in the electronic section, whatever I'm looking for. When I'm off, I'm like, let me see what's out there, and then I saw this phone from Samsung, and it's a flip phone. It's a smartphone, but it flips. One folds like a book, the other one flips like a Motorola back in the day. Have you seen those phones?
Oh, okay, yeah. I have. I think they have them in the Samsung shop here at the mall. You can actually just go and check them out and
Definitely,
them.
they're on sale.
They're expensive, but hey.
Really, they're not that bad. Yeah. Here they,
I guess
they go for about 8,000 rand. So they're not that bad. 8,000 to 10,000 rand.
8,000 rands. Dude, when they come here, they start telling us about 20K, 20 something. No, I'm not lying. Like literally, the latest, those Samsungs are literally going for 25,000, and you can probably only get it on contract. Well, you can't get it cash. But most people probably can only afford it if it's on contract.
8 to 10,000 rand. Yeah, is what they sell it for. And I saw it and I played with it and I was like, you know what? It's not perfect yet. It's not at the point where I'm like, I want to buy one, but they're getting very, very, very close. And I love the fact, so the one that folds like a book. The guy, what he posted on Twitter was, on the left side, he had his YouTube video that he was watching. On the right side, he had his Twitter feed, and he was doing both simultaneously. And I was like, that's really, really cool. Like, again, the functionality of the phone and stuff. But anyway, the whole point of all this was, I really wanted to say, I respect, even when I saw and I played with the phones myself, I really respect what Samsung is doing, right? Obviously, it's really, you can't reinvent the wheel every single time. But we all thought OT flip phones were in the past. We're never going back in that direction. And only, all these other manufacturers, Apple included, were only making phones that are just bigger and have a better camera, and that can only get you so far. There's been zero innovation from Apple other than your camera being a cylinder looking
better one
to a 3-plate stove.
Yeah.
Like that's the most innovation that Apple has done. Or we've taken out the headphone jack, and it's like, okay, and better battery life. But
that's not even something to celebrate, because
it's just very
forced us to get wireless earphones and all that nonsense.
Exactly. So all these things where it's like, I've not been impressed with Apple at all when it comes to specifically innovation. But I wanted to just take this moment to praise Samsung. If you guys look up Galaxy Z Fold or Z Flip or whatever, both of them, I think that's their names. The balls to try that, put that on the market. I 100% respect that.
So why is it that in terms of like top range, because I think that's probably one of Samsung's top range phones, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of top range cell phones. Why is the case that a lot of people would still rather get an iPhone in the top range, right? So mid-range, Samsung dominates, right? Because you can get different alternatives to You don't have to get the most expensive Samsung to get
And that's where
the
the money
best
is.
features, right?
That's where the money is. That second tier market, Lapa. That's where
Yeah.
the money is.
But I think what Apple have done is they've probably realized that the future is not necessarily innovation, but we're in an era of content creation. I don't think it's the fact that Apple's not able to make a more innovative phone that has different features from the last one, because I think usually I don't think you need to upgrade an iPhone for maybe 3 generations, right? So I think if I have one iPhone, I don't need to go through, how can I put it? I don't need to get one every year, right? If I get one this year, I can probably skip a year to find noticeable differences. What I'm struggling with is I think Apple have really found Uguti, right. It's a content creating time. We just need to make sure that it's easy to create content. We need to make sure that the camera is top quality, top class, and people, especially young people, will love it. I'm not sure why is it that we're not following the technological wows as back in the day, right? Because back in the day, when you saw a flip phone, that was like, whoa, let me get a flip phone, let me get a sliding phone. It's no longer the case now. Now we're just prioritizing, okay, what's the best for me to share content?
So you mentioned something about Apple outperforming Samsung, but like generally speaking, Samsung has the bigger market share, right, in terms of phones. So
I meant
for
it like
example,
the elite range, right? So top.
yeah. Okay, so I'd have to look at the numbers deeper to see. Okay, in terms of iPhone 13 Pros versus what is it called?
The
now?
latest Samsung.
S21 or S22 Ultra, whatever it's called, right? I'd have to look at those, but generally speaking, like Samsung sold about 73 million phones in Q1 of 2022, while Apple sold 56 million iPhones. So again, I'd have to see which ones specifically were the units that were sold and how they were selling. But essentially, for me, the big thing with Apple and Samsung is, you see Apple is trying to get into that lower budget tier, right? So they've got the iPhone SE, and I think what is it, or the iPhone Mini? I can't remember what it's called. One of those two names. That one where it's like it's priced at about $300. Yeah, $300 somewhere there. So those type of phones, again, no one is really gonna buy those unless you're like, I would buy it if I was a parent and I've got a kid who I want to buy a phone now, because like one of my friends, she was telling me, Wuti, her daughter, she just bought her daughter a phone. She bought her an iPhone, and she did iPhone specifically because from her own iPhone she can lock the phone. So she already has set up the phone with the 8 p.m. So like there's certain hours that she can control when the phone is active, when she can make calls, can't make calls, which apps are just gonna switch off, like all this stuff. So that level of control, right, because of the Apple ecosystem, sharp. I would definitely buy one of these cheaper Apple models, right, for a kid. But like other than that, like just again for me, it's the guts of what Samsung is trying to do. That's what I respect them for a company, because again with Apple it's just like, bro, like honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that my iPad, iPhone, MacBook, Apple TV, all that shit doesn't work seamlessly together, if it wasn't for that,
But that's how they get you.
sorry. That's how no. Again, shout out to them. Shout out to them. But like it's just so like, for me, I'm a person that I like to buy Android and Apple devices just to kind of have the best of both worlds, because I don't want to just be stuck on one thing. But I do know the iPhone, iPad, and the TV functionality, that one definitely has. But I'm starting to see, like Ratesi, with the newer TV models of Samsungs and the newer Samsung phones, that interaction is starting to get to Apple level as well, right? And then now throw in when you buy your Samsung smart fridge and all these other Samsung appliances, which is a market that Apple just simply does not have. I mean, at that point, like if Samsung plays it right, I'm pretty sure that they could start to outdo Apple in terms of their ecosystem, because now I can rope in my mom, be like, yeah, no, in my crave, you can make it work from your phone. No, you can look, with your phone. Like, come on, like
With your
people
phone.
would go for that if once you can get them into that. But anyway, Mr. Moy, it looks like our guest is here, for another appearance in court, in the court of 6 foot weights. I'm sure, again, if you don't know who is pulling up on the pod, chief, trying to show my one, like, come on.
My one.
Honestly. But let's see.
Did I even say that right?
I don't think so. I don't trust your Shona at all. Fam.
Who's the judge for starters? Who's the judge before you?
No, you see, so me and Tabo, we are only facilitators, right?
Yeah.
Of a conversation.
All I want to know is that in this court, who's the judge? That's all I want to know.
It's the court of the people. It's the court of the people, Tinto.
So this is a kangaroo court.
Blue collar, Zimbabwean.
Let's just get some semantics out the way.
Let's not even just say Zimbo.
Global
citizens who want to understand.
Do you have a name for people? Do you have a name for people who listen to the Feeling Station?
Feelers,
yes.
Feelers.
So what should we call this, Mr. Maps? It's the Feelers Court, right? Because we also listen to the Feeling
I like
Station.
that. Oh, that's catchy.
I call
The
them
Feelers
feelers.
Court.
Catchy. Put that on the t-shirt.
Yeah, man.
Feelers Court. I like that.
That's a very good shout, this, and I like this, brother. I like where this is going.
Yes. So Feelers Court presiding over the judges' 6 foot weights. That's it.
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of your guys' discussion on mobile phones, and I don't want to tap too much into that because my preference is Apple, purely for two main reasons. One, I hate that Samsung font. My gosh. That font, you guys will say, yes, you can change it. I've not seen anybody with a different font. Can't stand the font, That's number one.
Yeah. Number two,
the ease with which you can get caught if you're doing some shit is easier on a Samsung than it is on an iPhone.
What do you mean by that? Go deeper, Baba.
Reason being, the iPhone is so self-contained and controlled in what you can do. You don't have the liberty of changing things as much as you want on Samsung. What you have is what they give you, full stop. Which means the number of places that you can find dodgy information is easy. Do you get what I mean?
On an iPhone.
So, yes, on an iPhone.
Yes.
So if you want to hide photos by default, on an iPhone, those photos are going to be found in the Photos app, and it's either going to be in recent photos, or it's going to be in videos, in screenshots, in selfies, or in recently deleted.
Yeah.
It's going to be in one of those easy to find folders.
It's even a folder that's written hidden. And I'm like, hidden from who? If you
exactly. Yeah, do you know there's a hidden? Do you know that folder is stupid, Tabo? That folder is so
but
stupid.
you can actually.
It says hidden. And then you hit hidden, and then suddenly they are unhidden.
But you can actually go to settings and hide hidden. So you can go to your settings.
So where would you find the folder?
You see.
No. Then you have to go and unhide it, I think.
You see, now
It's
this
a lot.
is
It's
what I'm
a lot of
talking about,
gymnastics. It is a lot of gymnastics.
It's a lot of gymnastics, but it's easy gymnastics to do.
Yes.
Samsung, it will give you menu 1, go to menu 2,
this
then menu 9 and 7.
This is why Samsung rocks and Android rocks. It's like, bro, listen, that phone, even again, because a lot of people don't have the time to actually study the Samsung, will look at it as if it might as well be in Mandarin, right? It might as well be written in Mandarin because, like, I don't even know where to. Like, there was one time I gave my wife the phone, and she's like, "Where's WhatsApp?" I'm like, "Babe, just literally swipe to the right, like just swipe the page, go to the right. WhatsApp is there." And she was like, "Hey, where's this? Where's that?" I'm like, "Chief, like, okay, clearly, because she was about to also get an Android phone for work, so she wanted to see how is like having an Android phone, or should I just ask for another iPhone?" And she was like, "Nah, fam, me and this Android thing, it doesn't make sense." But yeah, no, if you're shady,
the menus, the menus are way too deep.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, your menus are way too
You can
deep.
put fake
Way too deep.
screens. You can no, those are proper hidden folders there. Like Samsung, no, fam. That's where dodgy dealers are.
Why does one need to do all of that?
Privacy, bro.
Hey, it seems like a lot of work.
And the reason why I tapped into this iPhone stuff, it's part of the story that I'm going to tell you guys.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, it's a very apt thing that you guys were talking about.
You see, the synergies. This is what I love about this Tinto. The synergies are always on point.
It's mad.
It's always the synergies
It's
are
a
like
madness.
really
A proper
intro,
madness.
everything makes sense, but obviously we have to give you your dues, guys. We have Tinto from the Feeling Station. In case you didn't know, if you don't know, be serious, please. But welcome Tinto to the pod. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, brother. Thank you very much. How are you guys
We're
doing?
alive and kicking, my G.
Yeah.
Good. That's nice, man. You guys are holding strong. That is very encouraging. Nice to have you both.
Well, we're here. We're here whilst we can be. We're doing it for the people, like we said. But right now we're focused on you, Mr. Tinto. You've been hinting. I've noticed on Twitter. Whenever I scroll on the TL, it's like Tinto is. When your woman is like throwing hints out there on socials, like subbing you and shit like that. That's how I felt with you. You've just been throwing hints to the people with him. This Mjolo thing, guys, this marriage thing. You've been just dropping little hints, like those little girls at the wedding who drop the flower petals and they walk down the aisle, just like that.
Yeah.
Little petals, that you've been dropping, and I'm like. Tinto, every time I see it, I'm like, Tinto sounds like he's got something to say. It's like he just needs a platform for him to get these things.
Do you know what,
off
right?
his chest,
Do you know what, Maps? The funny thing is, he posted the latest episode. Is it not the latest one? Or maybe the one before that. But it was about marriage in particular, where I was listening to this guy.
Oh, that dizzy one. What's his name?
The dizzy guy. Yeah, the dizzy guy.
Crap.
I don't know, but he had a woman called Chipo, I think.
Mpo
and Chipo. So, I'm listening to that whole thing, right? So, first of all, Tinto his caption was very, that sounded like a personal thing, right? Because he's like,
Yeah.
Sounded deep.
marriage,
what?
hey, people...
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so why so much negativity about marriage? I can't wait to listen to this episode.
It was coming from within.
It was coming from somewhere deep inside.
Dude, you know what? If you guys don't mind, I'll actually use this opportunity to try and clear that up because, I didn't realize how personal that actually came across as until Unat from Girl in Scouts was like, yo, Tinto, I feel like you need to offload.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm like, nah, chill. This is not about me. This is about the episode dropping. And then I read it again. And I was like, oh, snap. I might have just done myself a shakara.
Yo, Tinto, when you're recording that episode,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not sure if Mpo, the guy who came on your platform, listens to us. If he does, please. There were so many red flags that I picked up when he was telling the story, bro. Like, it's like, my guy, there was one, there was two, there was a couple even before they were dating. There was the one where even his friends were like, hey, my guy, what are you doing? And there was the one where he was like, yeah, no, I continued with it. I'm like, my guy, what? Like, I think there were about 5 that I count. I even texted how I'm like, bro, these are like 5 red flags that I'm seeing here, and I'm like, it's not making sense.
Straight. There's no way, fam, because
And you know what? I would understand if red flags. Okay, you can have 5 red flags that are the same size, right? That represents 5 different unrelated issues that you should be worried about.
Yeah, but all of that was in relation to infidelity.
This dude had one small red flag, which ate a few baby red flags, then it became bigger. And that same one ate a few other babies. So this one red flag eventually started as a small flag and ended up being a massive flag because it's the same thing.
You know what's funny?
That was problematic.
What kills me the most about that whole story, is the fact that he goes at the beginning, right? This again, when you listen to it for the first time, you won't really catch it. It's only after when you reflect on the episode that you just laugh. The first thing that this brother said, I think you asked him something along the lines of like, or he was telling you what he liked about her or how the relationship was. My man said, I liked her or I liked the relationship because we were transparent. And I was just like,
the irony.
So the whole time, like at the end, I'm not laughing. I'm like, Chief, where is the transparency?
The irony.
Like, where is the transparency? Like,
And And I was suspicious of the transparency when some girl sent him nudes.
Yeah, that was also
And he
shady.
decided to be transparent.
Yeah.
You know, I came off the phone and I was like, nah, my man, listen, I didn't want to put you on the spot, yeah? But there is no way you were being transparent. You're just covering your ass before you got
Yes.
caught.
No, Chief.
Yes.
Like there's
You know, that just in case she actually stumbles onto these,
Yeah.
you've covered your back by saying that, what? Yo, somebody sent me these things.
So no, first of all, Paul needs to invest in a Samsung phone. Let's start there. Because that
Anyways,
whole
guys,
thing, no, listen,
Good
this
shout,
girl-
my G. Good shout.
This girl,
Good shout.
this girl, Justin J, Jiggy sent me some nudes, and then I
Yeah.
said, "Hey babe, I don't know how this got there, but come on, like Chief,
Ah,
Bro, let me
bullshit.
tell you, anyone who that happens to, like any guy who that happens to, the first thing you do is you delete it and then you address it with that person. With Chief, mina.
yeah, no,
No such
If you really,
things.
if
Don't go.
it was really,
Yeah.
off, if you really,
If you
caught
were
off guard,
serious.
like genuinely, then you're like, nah, Chief, listen, I'm not about this. Let's not, if this is what you're trying to do.
But look,
let's kill it.
guys, what woman has ever sent you nudes out of the damn blue?
It happens, Tinto, bro.
Like,
Not that it's happened to
Where?
me. Sorry, it's never happened to me, but
Where?
it happens.
No, it doesn't.
I don't buy it.
You have to
I don't
have
buy
history.
it.
You have to have there has to be a
I don't
level
buy
of
it.
comfort for her to do.
Yeah, there must be, because you see, unfortunately, we live in a society where people are too keen to screenshot
Yes,
stuff.
Yeah.
that is true.
Why would I put my ass on the line for a screenshot when I don't know how the hell you're gonna deal with it?
Exactly.
It doesn't add up.
Hey,
There has to be a level of comfort somewhere.
Yeah.
I
There
guess
has to be
so.
some
I guess so.
invitation.
I guess so.
But I,
But
Mr.
anyways,
Tinto,
guys, it's episode
move us
for
into-
those who are
to-
listening.
to
Sorry,
your
Mr.
story.
Maps. We just want to tell the people it's episode 124 of the Feeling Station.
Yeah. It's episode 124, and then also 125 where he gets his sheets back. But then before,
Yeah,
you got
there's
the
a
low one
bonus.
and the back.
oh my god,
Bro, there's a bonus thing.
The next episode is another madness.
Oh shit. Okay, no. I'll listen to that after, or rather, at work tomorrow. How?
Yeah.
You went and claimed his man.
It's a proper madness. Aya.
No. All right, cool. Well, if Mbo is listening, hey, hit us up in the DMs. Would love to have a chat as the pros. You can come to the Feelers Court.
Like, I think we need to the Feelers Court just for a debrief, because I think Tinto, obviously you're trying to respect these guys and you don't want to ask them like weird questions, but I think some of us during the episode, and I know a lot of Feelers have this, but you ask a lot of questions. You're like, Chief, what the fuck, like.
No, we will. He must come to the court so that we can ask the questions Tinto couldn't. For the sake of the brand of the pod.
Yeah.
But we will ask those questions without any shame, because we need to come and dissect kancane. But anyway, Mr. Tinto, we need to pick up on
Yo.
where you left off with us. Right, so a quick recap for the people. Episode 89 of 6 Foot Weights. Tinto came through.
Yeah.
He told us about a relationship that he had with, I guess we're going to stick with her name, Zara. And Zara or eBay. I don't know which one works better for you. It's up to you. And, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. This lady was unfaithful to our good brother Tinto. She was two-timing the brother. And the unforgivable sin is that she was, giving up the cheeks, while under the, on Tinto's side, she was claiming that no, she wasn't ready, A, B, C, D, and, it was just a mess. Eventually,
Not that she wasn't ready. Say it right, brother. She claimed she was a virgin.
Oh, okay. Hey, even worse. So, it was a whole mess. Tinto eventually found out. And now, we still have some questions, because you hinted at the Facebook thing, the comments thing. So, walk us through it, fam.
Yeah.
Walk us through it. Like, what context are we missing here?
So, I was on Instagram, the Zim Celebs page. I think it was about two days or so ago, and there was a caption there that says, "Imagine commenting mine," in quotes, under your girl's post, and she deletes your comment. And I was like, this is not wild. For me, this is real. Right? I don't even need to imagine it. Right? There is no need for imagination. I'm here to say it because it was my reality.
Oh my guy. I feel like you must like take it easy when you say some of these things because I wasn't ready.
You see, the thing is, I can't even be easy about it because I mean it's been it's been a number of years now. But yo, eBay, man, she did some stuff to me that I think I'm still dealing with today.
Nah, go on. Yeah? Go on, bro.
So
go on.
So what I'm gonna do? Unfortunately, I would love to go into the whole Guan, but trust me, we would take the whole day. So I will continue giving snippets, right? And if this is the court where those snippets happen, fine. Let that be the official spot where people will hear my breakup one. Yeah, but if people are clever, they'll stick. Anyway, we'll get straight to it, right? So right at the beginning of the relationship, what this eBay decides to do is say, look, I'm not a huge fan of pictures on social media because I'm quite private and because of the work that I do. You know, I have to be careful. Now, and what's important for me to say through this whole Guan is I cannot overemphasize the bubble that I was coming from, right? In terms of my background, my upbringing, the schools I'd been to and what I've been exposed to, female-wise and relationship-wise, were between 0 and none. So whatever you told me, I took and accepted as
at face value.
Yeah, at face value, with zero suspicion. Yeah? So remember, you know, this girl has told me the values she has, how she wants to preserve her virginity, etc., etc., and all of the stuff she used to do around very close circles was very impressive.
Yeah.
So when she said to me, look, because of what I do, I have to be careful how I present myself online. And I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. It's cool, man. You know, do I say no,
what
say
did she
less? Do? Well, I actually can't say that because it was part of the Secret Service.
Okay.
Yeah. So even up until now, I can't really talk about it.
Wait, she's a C10?
I don't know.
So me, I was like, okay, because I understood. The moment he said it, Tabo, I was like, okay, I get it. Let's move on.
So, you know, she then tells me this stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, say less. You know, we're not going to do any of this. It's cool. It's cool. And then occasionally, you know, when she decided to let loose and like we hang out and stuff, she'd put maybe pictures of our hands together. Like two hands holding pow. And then she'd be like, me and mine.
Really?
Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, that is permission to comment. I'll put a comment and say, I miss you, babe. Yeah? And bear in mind, again, this is another important thing to mention. At that time, I had a BlackBerry Curve, which is where the iPhone thing comes in. BlackBerry Curve. 8900. If any of you guys remember, that's the BlackBerry that had a little ball that you would use to scroll. Right? And then it became a touch-sensitive thing later on. But that's the BlackBerry that I had.
Yeah.
And it was very slow to log on to Facebook, and it didn't have a native Facebook app.
Okay.
So this girl says to me, look, you know, I want to share some special stuff, you know, occasionally about what we do, even though we won't have our faces in there. But we can't do it to the BlackBerry, so I need you to buy an iPhone. My job at a BlackBerry Curve at that time was £184.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And I bought this thing 3 years before. I was a holding onto it for dear life. Yeah? Then, you know, if Bay says, look, you know, let's switch up because she had an iPhone 4 and, you know, these couple goals where you do similar stuff. Have you seen these couples when they go to Aurora, they have this matching colors for the nonsense. all of that shit. And she was bringing it to me now. Yeah.
Tell me how you feel,
she was bringing it to me.
That nonsense came from a very, very serious place.
She was now bringing that to me. She's like, let's be iPhone twins. Yeah. So Mandem goes to the bank, looks at the bank balance. Again, online banking at this time wasn't a thing. Yeah. So I go to the bank, check my balance. I'm like, yo, this phone is £425. And as of today, I only have, I think it was about £190 available. But I didn't want to be that guy who doesn't pull through when the girl says, let's do the same stuff phone-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went and I took a payday loan.
Oh wow.
Wait, Tinto, what's
So
a
it's a
payday
cash
loan?
advance.
Right. So payday loan. If I earn say £1,000 a month,
Yeah.
a payday loan is the bridge between your next payday and when your money runs out. Yeah. So I only earn £1,000 and I took a £500 payday loan, which meant I was now officially living beyond what I'm earning.
So your next paycheck
Sorry, next
would
month's
be
salary.
set off, right?
Yeah, because I earn 1,000 and I've gone to someone and I said, "Hey, can you give me £500 that I'll pay off gradually?" But what I didn't know is that the interest rate on these payday loans is so ridiculous that unless you change your job, you will actually never pay it off. Because already you're living above your means. If your paycheck is £1,000 a month, it will always be £1,000 a month. But at an extra £500, I had to pay the payday company. Yeah. So here's the thing now. I went and I took this payday loan. The money came within, I think, half an hour of submitting an application. I went to Apple. I got myself an Apple 4, an iPhone 4, brother.
Wait, this is
iPhone
so
4.
back in the day, like
Yeah.
an iPhone 4 was like the big thing, right?
It was a massive thing, because remember the iPhone 3 was curvy and the iPhone 4 was the first square one. Yeah, so it was really iconic to have that. And
Jobs
they
were
really
still
upped
alive
their
at
game.
that point, even, huh?
Oh, yeah, our jobs were still heavily invested.
Okay. No. It was
So
not.
I didn't get this iPhone 4. We went out a couple goals. We got the same phone. I download Facebook app nicely. I'm busy occasionally tagging things in my pictures. And I start commenting. Then I noticed every time I comment on a picture,
This is
or
Facebook picture.
something. Yeah, this is a Facebook picture. Yeah, that comment only lasts at most 20 minutes, and that would be at a time that she's not available on her phone. So in my head, I'm like, oh, do you know what? This must be that privacy thing that she was talking about. So I need to respect her. Whatever she removes, there's obviously a reason why she's doing
Wait,
it.
hold on.
Yeah?
Hold on. Let me just clarify for my own purposes. So at this point, you know for a fact she's the one deleting the comments. Or you
I
thought
don't.
maybe it's like so did you think like it's a privacy setting where comments don't last, or did you say, oh, okay, she's probably deleting these comments for a reason? Like what was your logic?
Interesting you asked that question. First time I saw it, I was like, maybe it's a Facebook bug.
Okay.
Yeah? because sometimes I do remember if you try to like a picture, it wouldn't register the like. Or,
It would happen
or if you
sometimes.
comment, the comment, it used to happen. So I assumed that was the one. And I was like, yo, I tried commenting on your thing. And the standard response was, ooh, that's strange. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. So I bought that excuse. That's strange. I don't know what's happening.
Nah, man. This happens a lot.
Also, that time you're
So
new to
anyway-
iPhones, right? So you've been a
Bruh,
BlackBerry boy.
Bro, I'm new to iPhone. I'm kind of newish to Facebook. I'm new to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, my kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this then goes on. It went on for like 3 months.
Wow.
Then I spoke to one of my homies. I was like, "Hey, bro, can I try comment on your picture?" Yeah. The comment stuck. It was there for a long time.
No issues, no bugs.
I was like, no, something about this feels a bit off.
Yeah.
Then there was some event that we had, generic event, right? And my comment there was, this was fun. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of the people in the group were saying. This was exciting. We need to do it again. So I said, this was fun. And guess what happened to
stuck.
that comment? It stuck. It was there. Forever.
Even had likes.
Well, that one wasn't disappearing.
Yeah. No, that one didn't disappear. So because I saw that one didn't disappear, then I went back to the one with the hands. Yeah. And then I just wrote, I really miss you. Enter. It wasn't 3 minutes. It wasn't 3 minutes. That comment was gone.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, something about this is definitely off.
No, Tinto, listen. The thing is, this Han was way ahead of her time. She was Snapchat before Snapchat.
Bro.
You know, beyond a shred of a doubt, she was. Beyond a shred of a doubt, she definitely was.
That's mad.
So because it went, then I became suspicious, right? And so I decided, okay, you know, we were due to meet at the weekend. We met at the weekend. We're hanging out. So I pulled out my phone whilst we sat together. Yeah. And then this is when I just discovered the wall. So I saw, okay, this commenting thing is not working. Let me try the wall.
So when I post on a wall,
Because there's a Facebook wall. You know, I was like, I saw him to Louis. Because I'm like,
Wait,
I'm being too kind trying to comment on my own
note,
damn picture.
do you guys remember
Let's go
how-
to the wall, my G.
remember how loud someone posting on your wall was on Facebook? It's like, it's like, bro,
Yo.
I want everyone to see that I am messaging you right now.
But I don't know why Facebook was designed like that, woman.
Facebook was a lot, fam. Facebook was
So I
a
went
lot.
to the wall. And I'm like, nah, you know, because by now I was convinced people know about us. People know what we're about. We know we're okay to do this as a couple.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your work is, it's okay to fall in love. Do you know what I mean? So I just wrote, I miss you. Pressed enter, yeah? And then Facebook notifications would make a sound. You know, the sound came on the phone. I'm like, yeah, she's definitely seen this Adam.
Yeah.
And I'm watching my wall, yeah, and her wall. Like clockwork. It wasn't a minute. That wall thing was, not only was it gone, you know how you could block people from posting on
couldn't
your
post
wall,
anymore.
specific people? I became one of them people.
Wow.
Because that was the only time I ever posted on
She
the
was
wall.
in tune with those
Only
Facebook
time.
privacy settings. Way
Yo, for real.
No,
all
I-
the
I-
time.
I-
I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know
Yeah,
you
yeah, no, you could block people so that they don't post on your wall.
Wow.
Specific people, yeah, you could.
So
Immediately,
wait, hold
I
on.
became
you
one
guys,
of them.
you said you guys were seated next to each other when you did this experiment.
Next to each other, literally next to each other.
Sure.
Because every time I used to ask her what's happening to my comments whenever I comment,
Yeah.
I was in London and she was elsewhere.
Ah.
So it was okay for her to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook is a bit weird. I've been trying to post on people's things myself. It's just not happening. Yeah.
Phew.
So because we're right next to each other, put that post, bing, she got the notification, like clockwork within a minute, it was gone. Not only was it gone, I was blocked. But by now I had the balls to ask. I was like, I think that notification was from me.
Yeah.
She's like, no, it wasn't. But remember, on Facebook, yeah, if you clicked on the little heart in the top right-hand corner, it would tell you all of the notifications that have come in. and it said, Tinto has written on your wall. Or Tinto posted, and then dot,
In
dot, dot.
quotes.
It would still
And
be
that
there.
notification was still there. I'm like, okay, this notification has come through. It's telling you I've posted something. And all you need to do is click on it, and it will take you to the exact post that's been posted. When you click, it says post not found. So I just said, how has this happened? And she's like, I don't know. And that's when the penny dropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, you know, let me leave this thing.
Side note,
Because-
wait. Just to take you back slightly. How long have you guys been together at this time?
1.5 years.
Whoa. So it wasn't like a new thing.
Total relation. No, the total relationship time was 2
Like, so
years.
this is
So-
oh, okay.
How far are we from you bumping into the other guy, the OG or the side?
6 months.
Okay.
Well, 6 months before that.
Exactly 6 months. Exactly 6 months before. But that's one of the things that was a trigger, other than a message I saw on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah. You see, we're about to schedule because I don't like mixing stuff. But
Okay.
basically,
so we'll pencil the
basically,
Valentine's Day
this-
episode to the side. We'll put that save it in
no,
drafts.
we can definitely pencil the 100% because this was in October that this Facebook thing was happening. Yeah, and then 3 months later in January, after I was already now suspicious. Now, what I had to try and do through all of this was catch what her password might be by luck. I
You
needed
just had to observe.
because shit wasn't adding up. Shit was not adding up at all. And what she was very good at doing was if she was sleeping, she would give me her back. Yeah. And remember, I was not having no sex. So the best I could do was either rub her back and maybe touch her bum bums if she allowed me, or I'd caress her hair. And that's all I could get. Yeah.
Yeah, no, bro.
That's all I could get. That's all I get.
I know.
This one day, obviously I've stroked as much of the back as I could. and I had to be careful how much of it I stroked, because if it started arousing me, I knew I couldn't get nothing.
Yeah.
I had to be careful that it doesn't end up giving me blue balls.
Yeah.
That is the one girl that made me discover and understand what blue
Yo.
balls is. Yeah, worst feeling that any man should ever be put under.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
story for another day. So I started, slowing down the rubbing of the back and bijana, pretending to drift to sleep, then pretended to start snoring. Yeah? For a good 5 minutes.
Okay.
Do you guys know how hard it is to pretend to snore
Yeah.
for 5 minutes?
Yeah. Even once is like a lot.
That's hard, my guy.
That grrr,
That's
that
level.
grrr sound, that grrr sound does not come naturally. So anyway, did that for a good 5 minutes, and then she thought I was knocked out.
Yeah.
But one eye was obviously close to the pillow; it couldn't open. The other one could open, and I kept it open. Then I checked her putting the password in, and then I was like, okay, this is my opportunity at some point. Next morning, she goes to shower. I enter phone. This was in January again. And these guys are planning what Valentine's Day is going to look like.
Whoa.
Yeah. They're like, so where are you going to be? She says, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then that's where the message stopped. So now remember, my messages are being deleted. My messages are vanishing. My wall posts, I can't do any longer. And here is some person who is not even saved as what his real name was. The name was her cousin, and it was a female.
Oh wow! That's so like
But
a,
when
a
you
straight
backtrack
up
on the
female
conversation
name, like when
and-
it's not even like a unisex.
It's just, bro, straight up female, and it's the cousin that I even knew very well.
How? So that if cousin
only
Jenny
thing
calls at
that's so-
9 p.m., you won't ask any questions.
Yes. The only thing that sold her out was the fact that when I was looking at cousin's photo on WhatsApp versus cousin's photo, I could see because I had cousin's number. On my WhatsApp, they were different. Now make that make sense.
She's got two
How would you
numbers.
have the same number,
got two
but you got... No, the number was the same. The number that I had was the same number that she had.
Oh, I see.
For the cousin.
But-
The cousin is mutual, so the cousin doesn't need two numbers. Yeah? The cousin has got one number, but when I look at the picture on the cousin's number that I have, it's different to the name that has been labeled as the cousin on her phone, because it's not the cousin. You get?
Yeah.
So the pictures are different. So I was like, this is definitely not the cousin. And Mandem are planning something for Valentine's Day. But because I was in so deep, and this is part of the reason why I didn't question Mpo too much. Because I've been there.
You've been within.
You've been lost in the sauce.
No, I've been lost in the sauce. So, denial kicks in. I made every excuse under the sun to say this is not what I think it is. And I left it. And then I stopped commenting on the pictures because it became a source of, pain of a sort.
Yeah, because you're basically
To
hurting
say-
yourself at this point.
Yeah, but at this point, I'm putting something that I know is going to get kicked off, and the response that I'm getting to why that's happening is not true. So the only person who's really getting screwed up by this is me. And now the seed has been planted for the 14th of February. And as we're approaching the 30th of January, I start getting hints that I might be traveling to Italy in the next 2 weeks
From the UK.
with my friends. Now, imagine what was going through my head, knowing, fam, I know you've been talking to someone about Valentine's, and suddenly you're starting to talk about a break away. And if you need to see me for Valentine's, see me before.
Sure.
Yeah. So wait, what was the excuse that was given to you for the break, right? For the Italy trip, or rather?
A group of friends of us want to travel to Italy, but unfortunately, it's going to cross over Valentine's, because the plan was to fly out on the 10th and come back on the 21st.
Oh, she was
That's a whole
smart.
vacation.
February.
That's a whole
Very smart.
vacation.
And then one day she goes, look, remember the nature of the work that she did was Secret Service. Tinto, I've got something I need to do. Obviously, I can't tell you what we're doing. I'm like, yeah, safe. Please do me a favor. Please, please, please. I'm begging you. Can you look online, find what tickets might be costing for this date to that date and that date? I really need them for the tickets. Fam, I went in. I got the best deals ever. Hey, babe, this is the date that I was able to find. Oh, thank you so much. I love you. I really love you. You're a great guy. I love you.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nah. Like, listen. Me, I'd send my big sister to go fight you, dog. Because at that point, there's no way.
But
nah.
But guys, check this out, yeah? Remember, there's certain things that are pillars that you need to remember consistently whilst this whole story unravels. My background is very sheltered. So what you tell me is what it is, and I believe and I trust you. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I had no even though I had suspicions, I didn't know what a suspicion felt like or what a suspicion was.
Yeah.
So the feeling of a suspicion was new to me. And I didn't know how to tackle it.
Sure.
So when I'm given the opportunity to search for tickets and codes, even though I have a suspicion, I'm hanging on to what I would want to hear, which is that this is true. She's really genuinely going there with her friends.
How old are you at this time?
If I tell my age, then people will know who exactly I'm talking about.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
You get what I mean? I would love to, but I've literally just turned 40. And if I say the age at that time, people are going to work it out. When I told you I turned 40 in June.
Damn.
Jeez.
Y'all need to put some respect on my name.
You're a body, bro.
Y'all need to put some respect on. You see these guns that I keep dropping, yeah? If you guys think eBay was bad, yeah? The one before eBay.
You see, now you teased it. Now you have to tune us, is it? Like what? Who was the villain?
We're here. We're already here, right? We're already in the court.
You
already in the
who's
court.
Who's the villain of that story? Who's the villain of that story?
All I can say, the villain of that story, I can't say who she is. But the way we got together is the way that we left.
Okay.
Yeah? You know how they say that you lose them how you get them. You know that saying?
Yeah.
That shit is so real for me. Because the way that it ended is exactly the same way that we started it.
So you sniped.
You sniped.
Yes, I sniped and then I got sniped. But the painful part for me about being sniped, when I sniped, it was obviously with her.
Yeah.
It's just one. It's one-on-one. I'm sniping her and your mind.
Yeah.
When I got sniped,
Oh nah.
and this is no joke, and I know I got feelers who know exactly what I'm talking about because Mandem helped me through this shit. It was mad. We were 6.
Oh, what?
There were 6 of us in the picture. 6.
Okay, wait. Got several follow-up questions.
I'm like, what?
I'm sorry.
We were 6.
That's a starting
We were
five.
six. And fortunately for me, right? This is not about the number of people involved, etc., etc. Again, I will keep saying this because I recognize where my own problem as an individual was. It was a pure lack of exposure.
Okay.
And when I say that I grew up in a bubble, people who know me personally know exactly what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
But as Zimchans, generally, we grew up in a bubble.
Well, there's bubbles and then there's a bubble.
Okay.
And I was in a bubble. Right? My education was rural and very religious. And that's taking it from primary school to secondary school to university. That a whole system. I didn't know. And I want you guys to get this the right way.
If you don't mind me asking.
Seventh-day Adventist.
How? Tinto,
We're talking past tense here, by the way.
You used to be.
Yeah, used to be. So you guys could easily drop somebody in the Adventist space, and I would know exactly who they are. For two main reasons. The circle is small, one, for starters. And the family that I come from is not only big, it's known because we were involved in a lot of things in the Adventist space. So I mean it when I say, you guys, if you drop a name, it won't take me two people to make the connection that you have between that person and you guys. Yeah. So born and bred. And when I say born and bred, that's the only church I ever went to. Yeah. Primary school. Yeah. I went to Queensdale Primary School up until grade 5. And then I went to an Adventist school from grade 6 until upper 6. Then went to university, Seventh-day Adventist University for the whole 4 years.
Is this in Zim or in the UK?
In Zim. In Zim. Okay. Yeah, I've not studied here at all.
Okay.
So because this is very, and when I say sheltered, right? Seventh-day Adventist schools are very mission-based. So you're out of town. And not only are you out of town, you're self-sufficient out of town. So there's a farm that will give you farm produce. So you don't need to go into town to get anything.
In terms of the university, was it Sulusi?
Yes.
Tinto.
And this is the point I'm making. Name somebody from that school, and I will almost guarantee you I know exactly who they are because of what my parents did there for work.
So wait, the vice chancellor there, were you related to him as well? Because it was, or maybe you were not there anymore. Oh, that's the Maposa.
That's my dad.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Because people would ask me if I'm related to him. I was like, no, it's a different.
Of course, which is why I always tease you, and I'm saying, well, now you're my cousin. That's why I always tease you.
Y'all sure, don't you wanna go talk to Abadala just to find out that there's no,
I mean, time,
link of some sort somewhere.
It might be worth it.
So this is the back, and because I know you guys understand that background and that context.
Yes, I get it now.
Right? Which is why now I keep saying that I was sheltered, and when I say I was sheltered, right? The high school I went to, Adventist. Grade 6 to upper 6, straight into uni after that. And then I worked in Malawi for a little bit. So before I got my own place, I would go home and come back. So even after uni, I was still within that bubble.
I see.
And you know, having been raised the way that I was, I only found out that people have sex when I'd finished uni.
What do you mean that people have sex?
Jeez.
Because remember, I was the vice chancellor's child.
It's before, you can't have sex before
right?
marriage.
Or so you thought that everyone who did this thing was doing it post marriage?
I didn't even know that people were having that stuff. Where would I have seen it? Where would I have known?
Now, bro,
No, for real though, because think about it. The high school I went to, there was none of that shit. Not like zero.
Yo.
Zero. And then I go straight into uni.
Okay, that's next level shelter.
and then because I was the vice chancellor's lighty, I couldn't be naughty. Because it's a bad rep for my mom was a lecturer, was a senior lecturer, my dad was the vice chancellor. I couldn't be the lighty who's doing dodgy shit. So I wasn't exposed. Half the time I'll do my lectures, get back home, study, do a bit of music because I used to produce music at the time. And then chill.
So wait, so you and this girl, right? This one. You met, where did you meet? You met...
Hey, asking too much.
Okay, fine. I was turning into...
Oh God, tell us the story now.
You're asking too much.
Okay, fine. Let's not say where did you meet, right? How long were you together? I can ask that.
Yeah, you can. A year and a half unofficially.
I want to know, how did you realize?
Because remember, this was...
We're getting to that one. We
because
must
remember
get him to unwind
because remember
little details.
remember this was a sniper thing, right? This was a sniping thing, and using that makes me
Okay, so you sniped her from someone. She was in a
Was it
relationship,
intentional?
and then you
yeah. She was in a relationship.
and you knew this.
Yes.
Iwe.
Hey. You just said target acquired and then Asgale one time.
No, and that wasn't even the thing. You see, what women are very good at doing, if they want something to happen, and guys do exactly the same. If you want somebody who's unavailable, you will paint the person you're with as
Yes.
bad.
He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that.
Exactly. So suddenly you become that guy who does it.
I wonder why women
check.
do that, because it's like,
And guys do the exact same thing. When if you know that you want to be with
Yeah.
someone and you want to do stuff, and she knows that you're with someone else, you will start painting stuff like, oh, she doesn't.
married
listen
guys
to
in
me.
particular.
you-
We don't even married guys like this. We don't even sleep in the same bed anymore. Hey,
Imagine.
that time you are in
We
love.
don't even sleep. Where now? So that's the one before eBay for me did a lot of things. It made me recognize that, and I want this to come the right way, that the Adventist approach to life outside of the bubble needs attention. Real life issues are not given to us at all, because remember, you're growing up on a self-contained institution.
So she wasn't Adventist.
But when you're out there, no ways. Absolutely not.
All right, so
Absolutely.
so you're
not.
Adventist. You meet this girl. She has a man's. She's saying man's ain't shit, man's ain't shit, and then you decide to move. You move. You start doing the things, I assume, and then you know, obviously she becomes yours. You have completed the sniper.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you smash this one?
Yes.
Ah, okay, Siabo. That's fine.
Right, cool.
I was like, two for two.
That's why. That's why I found out that these things can be nice. You know, these things are nice, and I got used to it. Which is why when I came to eBay and eBay is telling me, "Yo, this shop is shut," it's
My
not
boy
been
was like,
opened.
nah.
I was like-
Nah.
I was like, maybe I can deal with this. Maybe I can
Okay,
deal.
so
with
you've sniped this hun.
and because I used to get the things previously, I didn't know what but what blue balls was.
It was
at
on
all.
demand.
So-
So whenever you were like yes, she
Yeah.
was like yes.
Yeah.
So then,
So this previous
my question is
previous
then,
hand was okay, Senna, go ahead.
No, I was just asking, was it going well? Like, for all intents and purposes, no issues.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
So the
It was fine.
relationship had no red flags.
No.
Oh,
The only red flag I should have picked up is that we got together when she was with someone. That's a huge
Yes, that
red flag.
that is a red flag. It is.
Like even now, you know, if I was to get with someone and they are with someone, I would know this is just sex, and just leave it. Don't put your heart into it, because again, we shouldn't lose focus. How you get them is how you lose them.
Okay, so it's going well. And then how do you start to realize that there's more than one of you? Let alone 6.
just Shaz
That's
Bunny.
when
Expert salesman Tinto.
because what is happening here? But what is happening here is, honestly, hand on heart, I'm going against something I said I would never do, which
Okay.
was reveal what's happened. This kind of commitment I made to myself. But I'm also starting to realize that, you know, there are actually real life lessons people could benefit from here.
Absolutely.
You know, with the one before eBay, how you get them is how you lose them, and let that stick. It's a phenomenon that is true. I've experienced it one too many times, right? And then on the eBay side, all that glitters is not gold, and I've seen it again one too many times. So I'm going to bring it back to eBay. This one we will touch on another time.
No. Feeler's court
Right?
is always
But
open.
then it's always open. Okay, fine, safe. So you know, I then discovered I didn't go too much into the Valentine story because that's for another episode that we will do.
Okay.
But eventually, the last thing I remember saying to her was, I feel you delete my messages. I don't know why you do it. It's hurtful. But I hope this doesn't come to light in a bad way in the future. That's all I said, and I left it. Because now what I had to do was guard how this was making me feel. And I'm not. It took me a long time. It took me the best part of 3-4 months to eventually shut that off. And to cope with that, I ended up coming off Facebook.
Wow.
So if there are people listening to this, they will remember the time, because now WhatsApp wasn't there at that time. We used to communicate people with
Text and Facebook,
MSN Messenger, or
wow.
text, or you would go online. I remember MTN in South Africa had a service that allowed you to send 7 texts in a week for free. So you'd log on, give your details, send a text. That person would get that text anywhere in the world for free. Anything after that, they would charge.
So when you went to mix
So that's
it,
how we
and
used
mix
to
it
text
first-
if somebody was out of the country. No, I don't even know what that is.
Oh wow.
What's that?
Mixit was
how can you describe Mixit?
it was a messaging service, right? But it was just really
It was WhatsApp
wild.
before WhatsApp. Like it was this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a very like.
No,
beta version of WhatsApp.
I was MSN and Yahoo Messenger, where you put A/S/L ASL, which was age, sex, location.
Oh wow.
And then somebody would start chatting with you like that. See, I told you, man, them I'm 40, innit?
Yeah, no, like literally, I'm like, what is this man talking about?
So I wish I could make you guys understand, man. But there are a few tweets that came after I put that Zim Celebs thing to say, imagine if somebody deletes your messages and you post them. People in general have been saying you've been through it, and hand on heart, I genuinely have.
No, you
but
haven't.
I don't regret it either.
No,
Those experiences
it's character building.
were the best.
It's character building.
Proper character building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Proper.
I agree. So, Manji, how did you look as in? How did you have that conversation, or did you ever have the conversation with eBay there about the deleted text to say, "I've caught you"?
No, there was no need. There was no need, because that one day that we spent together, I wrote on the wall and it got deleted and I got blocked. Was my confirmation.
Sure.
Now, if you have
Yes,
someone
yes.
who is, if you're someone who's a pathological liar, they don't see that they're lying anymore. And remember, for her, the bottom line was, it's Facebook. I don't know what's wrong with it, and she stuck to it. You know, kudos to her. She was very consistent in whatever. Very consistent.
She's-
And one thing I'm grateful for her though is, I suddenly realized the importance of not being public with people that really matter. And I think I started to understand the difference between being private and being secretive.
What's
I'm
your
genu-
take on that?
I'm genuinely
What's your take on
private.
that now, Tinto?
I'm-
So, you know,
I am very, very.
so when
very
you
private.
get into
You
a
will
relationship,
never
you're not
find-
posting about it.
No,
But I've always found it. I've always
Not one
found it
bit.
weird. Not weird, but a bit awkward.
but I'll tell you what I do as well. To people who are in my close circle, it's not hidden. It's very obvious.
yeah.
It's obvious who I'm with. It's obvious what we do. It's obvious what my family unit is. You will never see an image of my. Have you guys seen my son
No,
anywhere?
I haven't.
Nope.
Haven't. But we
you
know that
won't.
you have a son, right? It's not like you're hiding it.
But you know, I have
Yeah.
a son because I speak about him with a lot of pride.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. So that eBay, I'll give that to her. She genuinely taught me the importance of being private and not secretive. She was private and secretive, and I saw what being secretive did to me.
Yes,
as a
because
person.
she'd go to lengths to literally delete posts
and I vowed I would never be secretive about the things that matter to me, which is a partner and my child.
So, Tinto, I won't check. So, in terms of your, again, you've been through the ringer, fam. Would you say that the changes in the adjustment? So you've talked about a positive adjustment that you made, which is I'm not going to be secretive about it, right? Regardless of how I live life, I'm not going to be secretive. But do you feel like any of these experiences changed you for the negative?
Yes.
So you're a villain in someone's story.
Yes, because those two specific experiences, I've had a few others in between, but those two in particular have made me very suspicious of people I had been with in the past. So after those two, the series of girls that came, unfortunately for them, they had to deal with broken goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
They
never a
had to.
good thing.
It may be so by default, when we start interacting and we get into a relationship, I don't trust you. And then you gain trust points as we go.
Yes, you almost want
But even
time
as you
to
do-
validate their experience of you, right?
Exactly.
So it's like the longer.
yeah, so Senna, you're in
Yeah,
law.
yeah.
You're in law and you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
You are.
But those experiences, for me, you are guilty by default until you prove you're
Because of
innocent.
what the world has shown you.
Exactly. And remember, coming from a sheltered background, came into all this wahala. So I went from one extreme of being extremely sheltered to being extremely exposed and hypersensitive to anything and everything. To the point where I remember with eBay, if she said I'm talking to my cousin, I would say, give me your cousin's number. And I would store that number. And call occasionally. If it was the same person who consistently picks up the phone and is the cousin, I was convinced, okay, this is really the cousin.
Wait, you were calling multiple times?
Absolutely.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Gee. Have you done therapy for some of this, or have you just kind of been self-medicating or therapizing?
So the only time that I stepped into therapy was when I was grieving my mother. That's the only time I stepped into a therapy session. Other than that, relationship wise, a lot of it has been self-taught, in the sense that if something feels familiar and I've reacted a certain way before that got me burnt, my solution has been to act the opposite. And I don't know whether that's the right way to do it, but it kind of works. Or I convince myself that it works.
Yeah. Jeez. Wow. I mean, yeah, that got deeper than the brand, but nah, man.
Side note, Tinto. Wait. So,
So-
I just want to ask you something on eBay, right? So, do you think she actually worked for the Secret Service, or that was also some BS?
No, I know
Oh
she
yeah,
did.
that was
I know she did. She
You
definitely
know she did.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I know for a fact she did. She definitely did.
Okay.
Because obviously now we don't trust.
Yeah, now we
anything
don't
about her
trust-
as well.
Yeah, no. I don't trust shit, but that, no, I am confident she did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That she's and what kills me is that she's had the balls to hit you up like 10 years or whatever later to be like, hey, what's up? Let's record.
On eBay.
Nah, that's wild.
On eBay. Of all things, freaking eBay.
How are
man.
you feeling about doing
wild.
the recording, right? Like not in terms of like the actual doing it, in terms of whether or not she'll say yes
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but are you feeling in like, oh, I could actually do this, let's do it, or are you just like, nah, I'm good?
The beauty of time is that it heals, but as an individual you also grow. So if you notice, one of the things I'm always very keen on doing at the podcast is trying to understand what closure was like for that person I'm talking to. And what that is a personal reflection on me. In these two really crazy relationships I had, closure was between 0 and none. And it had an impact on every other person I interacted with. So I can confidently tell you, closure for me is extremely important. And unless I don't have it, shit doesn't end. Do you get? So that's the kind of impact that it had, and it continues to transcend. Just to try and understand whether people are the same as I am. And 90% of the time, yeah, people want some form of closure. There are some that claim they don't. They're just like, well, I just had to walk because the person showed me their true colors, and that's good enough for me. But in a way, that is a form of closure.
Okay, I see. I get it. I get it.
Hi. No, I know it's been good,
Guys. I didn't expect it to go like this.
No, me also. I'm also like,
no. I don't think I like this kangaroo court.
But you see,
nah, fam.
I don't like this kangaroo court.
The deep one. This one.
Yeah. But no, honestly, hand on heart, jeez, man. What I'm grateful to God for is the fact that because of what I went through, I have 0 ounce of judgment in my interaction with people because I know that I don't know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Basing from the fact that I came from an extremely sheltered background, it went from one extreme to the other. I got a friend of mine called, and I'm not shy to say this. I got a friend of mine called Amos. Amos has seen me transcend from shelter to animal, right? And then back to human.
okay.
That guy, honestly, is the Tinto encyclopedia.
Do you think there's someone who's gonna come on the feeling station with a story about you as the villain?
I would love that to be eBay.
Okay.
I would love that to be eBay. Because what eBay did towards the end was try and paint a picture that, dude, you're not as holy as you present yourself to be, but with no evidence. Because up until today, I meet people who say, eBay said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about you, and then I say, well, prove it to me. And they can't.
That would be quite the conversation, though, if you put it on the spot.
So I would absolutely love for eBay not only to do an episode. This would be the only episode where I would do it one-on-one with her, and we just lay it all out.
Okay, not that. Well, that would be fun.
The feelers know who to find now. Let's revive eBay and let's find her because I'm trying to hear this conversation.
Hashtag find eBay.
Yeah, hashtag find eBay, guys. Because we need to have them hash this all out, put it on the table. Because I think in as much as, like you said, you can heal and time heals all wounds and stuff like that, or most wounds. But like for me, I always have these conversations where, like, with my wife, we'll talk and I'll be like, before I come to judgment on an individual or an action that you've done, right? I need to understand what was going through your mind, right? I need to know, like, okay, did Senna mean to harm me in this? Or Senna just did something incredibly dumb, thinking that it would work out in XXX type of way, right? And then depending on what the answer to that question is how I would then react, right? So if it's like, no, dude, I honestly did not mean to offend you, gunje, then it's like, okay, cool. I might still be pissed, but I'll get over it because I know your intent was not to hurt me. So that's I think that's what's important for me, and why I would, if in your shoes, I don't want to have that conversation. Be like, Chief, like, were we playing games? Like, or like, what was actually going on, in that period? And then also, with the accusations, like, tell me, because again, you might honestly be like, show me where, and she might have receipts, and then you be like, how? Oh, I didn't know, I didn't know this was hurting you or whatever it was, but. Definitely a conversation worth having.
Fortunately or unfortunately for me, I happened to be the wrong guy at the wrong time. Because she was still trying to get over her ex, who I now believe was very good at manipulating her. I don't know whether it's because she was stigmatized or what. But whatever it was, he was very good at manipulating her. So he would make her feel like, okay, now it's time to come back to me. And then when he got whatever he was happy with, he was quite happy to dispose of her. And then when she felt disposed and unwanted, I happened to be the guy who really wanted her anyway.
I see.
So she never got to a position where she was out of benefit. When the guy was being cordial and nice, cool. She would go to that. When he becomes an asshole, she'd come back to me because I was really into her and I was giving 1,000%.
You're the backup.
So yeah, the backup. Literally, I was definitely the backup. So she was fine, and she benefited from both worlds. So trying to understand what was really going on, I get it. I understand.
Okay.
The only question that I would have for her would be, how does it make you feel knowing that you took advantage of somebody's genuine trust and love? That's the only question I have for that woman.
How do you feel? I know.
I realized
Let's
this week
come to
that
answer these questions.
I realized this week that women are not good people, so you might find Uguti she doesn't feel anything.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine.
Women are not good people, fam. Like,
Imagine. Well, I mean, women are amazing people. I mean,
No,
we all
have
love
you-
women. Type of
Have
you're
you
married
have you
to a
seen
woman.
that
Right?
trend on Twitter now? What's it called? Passing the phone to someone who's XYZ, and it's literally friends who are saying the worst thing about each other, and it's literally girlfriends saying passing the phone to someone who's insecure about their body, and I'm just there like, bro, on social media you're gonna say that about your friend? No, it can't.
Senna sent me a few of these. Like, let me see. There's CC Twitter looks like it's been updated now. No, let me see. Yeah, this one. Passing the phone to one of my followers who wears cakey makeup and it's never matching her neck, but she's a makeup artist.
Bro. Where's this trend? I want to look it up. Is it on TikTok?
No, it's on Twitter.
Twitter now.
I'll send you a couple tweets. To your,
yeah?
to your
Yeah. Send me.
And then just look in the
Yeah,
quotes.
send me.
People. Some of them have even deleted a couple.
No, it's necessary.
And then-
Because, bro,
This
that's stuff that kills friendships.
the first one that you sent me has been deleted. I think people came for it. This one was like, I'm passing the phone to one of my followers who's in daughter who acts wholesome on the TL but simudla sonke. Like, bruh.
Can you imagine?
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm passing the phone to one of my followers who sleeps with older men to get what she wants. Another deleted tweet. Yeah.
Bro.
No.
The streets are not safe.
No, not at all.
Hey, but for me, gents, I'm dying to go wee, so I'm a love and leave.
No. We give thanks, Mikey. We give thanks.
This has been good, fellas. Thank you so much. Tapo Senna, you guys keep doing what you're doing. And I must tell you, this, for some strange reason, felt therapeutic. For some odd reason. But it's also highlighting one thing. I think I have some shit I still haven't dealt with.
Yeah.
Like for real.
No, but you did
for real.
say that you will. That's for a separate episode. The 6 guy girl.
Yeah.
Can I call her that? You did say.
If you want 6 guy girl.
This is my visa.
Yeah. I feel like she's a V6.
V6 engine.
Yeah, V6.
Nah,
Yeah, I'll call her
V6
V6.
engines are powerful,
V6.
fam.
V6 engine, my guy. Bro, nigga. My guy.
But look, my guy. You know, whenever you're ready to talk about that, me and Mr. Maps.
Okay,
are
yeah, okay,
here,
cool.
We are waiting. We are ready, and
Feelings
the feelings court is
safe.
open.
Nice, gents. Yeah, I know that's cool, man. I appreciate this, fellas. Have a
Alright,
good one.
cool.
Alright,
Shot,
cheers,
Tinto.
bro.
Alright,
Shot.
peace. Alright.
That man has
Mr.
been
Moy.
through a lot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Kunzi. It's
What a difficult.
Hey, man. Yeah, no, it's hey, yo, like, I mean, hey, like, you know what? I feel like the first time around, it was like a laugh. You know, it was like, no, this is wild.
Yeah.
But then you go back and the same hand has like a completely, this is like one whole episode worthy of like just one story, you know what I mean? And it's the same hand, right?
Do you know that it's like when we watch Game of Thrones and then you're now watching House of Dragons and then we're now going back to before and it's the same wild ish happening and you're just there like, how?
Yeah, no, bro.
But I'm not
it's a
sure.
mad
I'm
thing.
not sure who put him through the most. That one or the one that he said cheated on him
I'm no
with-
V6
with-
V6
Hey,
mina esibhedlela.
I think V6
Ay, ay,
ngiyasaba
ay.
mina.
I'm no V6 mina. Ay, nyabalega mina. I don't think I'll ever be the same again. 6.
Nah, bro, like-
okay, one other dude, fine. You know what? It's fucked up. You get over it. 6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you realize how big a number 6 is? Like 6 is not small.
Bruh. Ay. 6. Ay, this is my view saying this album, because ay. Guys, nah, like 6 is really
hey,
like
how you
if
sabe?
he was to tell that story, I'm going to be listening with both ears, because what the actual. But I mean, again, I understood a couple more things. It's all matter, guys.
What do you mean Isabata? So
Isabata.
is this like standard in that world?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like my experience and his experience as SDA guys, I think they're two different worlds, because I was fully in the outside of Sabata world as well. Like, so I'm exposed to everything, right? So there's the within Sabata world, but then also Abantu Engsontala are, the same as me, in that we come to church on Saturday, we spend the whole day together, whatever, right? But Sunday, everyone goes back, and Sunday to Friday, everyone lives separate lives, goes to school, does this, does that, right? But then if he mentioned that, like, for him, it was in that bubble for a very, very long time. So if you just lived in that bubble, you'd be a completely different person. So that's where I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. I do.
You
Although,
get the bubble chat.
now. Isolusing Yazi, at least the one that I grew up knowing in like the 20, whatever, when I was in 2006 to 2010 or whatever it was, that Solusi also changed quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Even though his dad, I think at the time, was still the vice chancellor, but that one had changed quite a bit from what he described, because it wasn't as, yes, it's the bubble still, but it had more, I'd say by that point, it had more like Abantuana who are not SDA, who just, this is a good university, just
They
outside
just
of
want a
Skies, so my
university.
mom sent me here. Yeah. So it had a lot
True,
more
but then-
of those people, but yeah.
I think
It's still
even if you were like just any other kid, your experience would be different from someone who is the vice chancellor's kid. I think if your parent was even a lecturer or a teacher at school, your vibe and experience or a lot of things is very different to everyone else, I think.
Yeah.
So hey, asaz.
Yeah, no. I mean, Ulokuzi. Yeah, it is. I think it is very, like, being young, right? And you have Ilokuzin. Like you said, your parent is a teacher or headmaster or whatever. There's this spotlight on you as an adolescent that is, I think it's a terrible spotlight, because now we all expect you. Remember how we like treated Nelson, right? Like, we all expect you to be a
Yeah.
certain way because your dad is Uzbaniban, right? And it's like, if you're a teacher's
I
child,
once got beaten with Nelson by his dad. It was the funniest thing. Because what had happened? I think we did something in computing. We didn't do like some assignment. We didn't hand in something on time. And then Mr. Kumalo was like, right, Bafana mali Mr. Nyoni liyachawa lamuhla. So we go to Nyoni. And then obviously we're now there with Nels, right? So we're like, right, Nels, your dad is literally the head of he was head of exams at CBC.
Oh, okay.
So they took us to Mr. Nyoni, and they're like, right, you guys are getting beaten. So we're all like watching eagerly, like, right, is he going to beat him the same way he beat
Yeah.
I think he did, but I also think he may have beaten him harder than the rest of us, because he was like, you want to compensate.
It's a lose-lose
It's a
situation.
lose-lose thing. You don't do it right, people are like, hey, inside. You do it right, you kind of have to like overdo it in a sense of which right.
Yeah.
Mntana kumele
Now
amshaye.
overcompensating.
Basically.
Aye. Yeah, no. Again, the Sabata ecosystem has been accused of being very toxic in a bunch of different ways. I actually know a frighteningly, there we go, high
It's after midnight for
number
you guys.
of
The English bundles are finished.
yeah, the English bundles, yeah, no, it's not there anymore. But yeah, I know an uncomfortably high number of ex SDAs, like personally know them, and now Tinto is another one who I personally know as ex SDA, and again maybe because I'm not Catholic, I'm not what's this, I'm so Impostoria and so whatever, right?
Story.
No, what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is maybe because of the circles that I'm in, obviously I know a lot more Sabatas, right? So therefore I'd know a lot more ex-Sabatas. Whereas if I was Pentecostal, then I'd know a lot more Pentecostals and ex-Pentecostals. Like, maybe it's that, but again, from my vantage point, I know too many ex-Sabatas where it's like, bro, we used to go to church together. You know, we grew up in the church together, and you are just like, yeah, you know what? Screw that. You know, like for genuine reasons, not even like ukuthi ya umuntu kasafunge church, but for genuine like no, this is my problem. So yeah, it's actually a lot personally, and I guess it's a conversation that needs to be had. I would say especially the Zim Sawata community. There's a lot of, I guess, bureaucracy, and again, it's a lot of toxic energy that is within some churches that people have left, right, and said, no, screw this. Like, you guys are so far from Christian, it's laughable. You know, so I think there's a lot of stuff specifically in the Zim one, because again, I've been to SDA churches in Rwanda, Uganda, like different Addis, like different countries in the States, and it's a completely different energy.
Why is it with the Zim one that's different?
I think Zim is just a different beast dog. Like, I mean, I'll ask like Tandani how, you know, the SA versions are, and again, if you're in SDA and you live in SA, is it the same as what it is in Zim? But like from what I've experienced, it's very, very different. Like the SDA communities, they are what you would want Isabata to be. And obviously, yeah, they do have their issues, and yeah, you know, shit, it's not perfect, but it's always similar banner, bruh. Like, I want to genuinely live in each church or trying to find another branch because I want to go to a church where no one knows me. Because lapha so club, you know.
I always say that ZANU PF in Zimbabwe is no longer just an organization.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle that is passed down from generation to generation. Because we see it in the small, like I see some opinions and takes on Twitter especially from a lot of Zimbabwean men, right? Where I'm like, Chief, do you believe that in real life, really? Especially like women.
Like, we're trying to build the male followership on the podcast. You cannot slander the niggas.
Okay. Sorry. All right. But Lani, guys, don't make me go down this route. Fix yourself. But no, on a serious note, right? It's like I read some posts and I'm just there like, no, man. You can't possibly believe that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. So yeah, my little brother just got to university. Man is in the US now. So my parents took him, and he's moved into his dorm, and he's doing all this grown up shit now. It's actually quite fun. So he sent me a picture now. He's got his monitor, his PS4 connected. I'm like, right, we are now ready for university. So I'm trying.
Not a book
trying to
inside.
see what he needs. Not a book inside. No. He's not ready for. You know what? Like I didn't have an older brother, right? So and the shitty thing is that neither one of my younger brothers were into FIFA at all. They were not into sports, so at least sports gaming, right? So I always had to either have one of my boys come over or go to a friend's house if I wanted to like compete with FIFA, because again, back then internet wasn't what it is now. So I'm playing online. Like, that shit was out of the question. Until I got to uni. When I got to uni, that shit was different, because now I had we had an apartment, and I had two Ghanaian flatmates, and we used to play FIFA, dog. Like, I remember we had assignments due and would have like a FIFA tournament and people would go to sleep on 4xn, bro.
Just playing FIFA.
Simu 3 and just passing the pad. Like it was it was a whole semester where you know how deep it is, Senna, when I know exactly how this own wants to play. Like when he passes it to a specific player,
he's doing that.
I know this is exactly when he wants to cut back. This is exactly how you like it was. We knew each other that well that like we all beat each other. There was no good. Oh, this guy is the best. Like after you pay someone so many times, you just know. So now I know how to defend. They knew how to defend against me. They knew what I like to do, and it was crazy. But again, probably some of the best memories that I have, where it's just like, bro, we looked at the watch and we're like, yo, we haven't eaten, we haven't done anything. We've just been playing FIFA the whole day.
I was actually the opposite. I stopped playing PlayStation when I went to university. That was just because I didn't have a PlayStation when I moved. So I left it at home, because you leave it at home with your siblings. So I left it with my little brother and my little sister. And then I got to university, and in order to game, you had to go to like a common TV room in the res. I didn't have. It was just like, it's a lot. And then before you know it, you realize that there's more to life. That's when you discover weed and reggae music, and you're like, actually, fuck PlayStation.
You see, now I can tell my dad that I'm not into weed and reggae music because I had my PlayStation. Yeah, well, like, this is exactly why you should have gotten me the station from dad.
Yeah. But anyways, Mr. Maps, good luck to the young man. You will find Uguti now. He'll start asking you for random things that my little sister asked me for on a random Tuesday when you're broke. It's like, hey, I'm hungry. Now, I'm hungry doesn't mean you must now send small monies for food. It now means it's a restaurant sit-in meal with clothes.
Nah, I will make
with an outfit as well.
Make a plan. He has the same father. I can't believe my dad would genuinely send me $200 a month and be like, chief, boni plan. And I'm like, dog. Like, other earths, the rates are sending them like $500-$600 a month. Me, I got 200, and he's just like, you know what? Of which the phone plan that I had was like $30-$40. Yeah. And it's like, once you break the 100, money is gone.
You know what? I reckon that's a conversation we need to have in one of our upcoming episodes. The allowance chat in school and in university, and the differences in which people get, and because there's different levels that parents can do, and I always appreciate. There's also what I can say is an excess, where you're now just doing too much now as a mzali. You're now just you're giving your child more than they need. And then there were the ones who were, I don't want to say ndebele about it, but I will say ndebele about it. Who are ndebele about it, where it's like, right, I've done the budget breakdown, cost of living is here, so your grocery should cost this much, your airtime and whatever should cost this much. Here's what it is, here's your allowance, you're done.
No, that's really what it was. And then worse when they've paid for room and board. So that was my dad's argument all the time. Well, I've paid for your dorm. You have a meal plan. What do you need money for? I'm like, bruh. Like, literally, that was the argument. So yeah, I was laughing my ass off because my little brother was texting me just before they left, like a week or two ago, and we were talking about his allowance, and I'm like, yeah, good luck trying to extort money out of your father. And I asked him, what's your budget? Like, what are you gonna ask for? And he was like, well, given the inflation and everything, about $500-$600. And I laughed. And I was like, $500-$600 what? USD. Yeah, USD. And I'm like, hey, your debited father is going to send you 500 USD, right? Tata. And I told him, in my day, like, chief, I got 200. And 200 wasn't even a lot when I was in it. It wasn't, it was not. It genuinely was not. And
200 at that rate,
I was always broke.
when we were in university, that 200 multiplied by, that was the time when the rate was about, what, 15 as well? Was it 15 as well?
It was probably about, it was about 12, 13, somewhere there.
12, 13,
12,
thereabout.
13.
Okay.
Yeah. So again,
So
it
just
wasn't-
over 2K. And the cost of
Yeah,
living in the US
exactly.
is a bit higher. Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
because again, it's more so. I would liken it to, I don't know. I feel like it would be like your dad sending you 1,000 rand. Like, I guess that would be the effect of the $200.
Yeah.
Where again, you can, if everything is paid for, yes, technically you can manage.
It's
but
just
like,
it's not just
yeah.
play money at this point, right?
Yeah. And then so there's literally nothing. There's not much you can do in terms of extra stuff. Where it's like, but at the end of the day, I appreciated it because then I was like, you know what, screw it. There's no way I'm going to keep going back and forth with this man.
Yeah.
I need to find a job, and I found a job on campus. Then
Got a
started
bit of
making
extra
about
sheets.
800 a month, and it's like, all right, cool. So at that point,
It was chill.
yeah, when you've got $800 a month, like, you want to buy sneakers, bah, saved a little bit, bought my own PlayStation, bah, like it was just, you know what I mean? Like
it was
now
nice.
having that disposable income, I was like, okay. Then I wanted an iPhone, saved up for an iPhone, got my iPhone. Like things started to make sense, But
So my follow up question is the conversation, and this is to the parents or future parents as well who are listening. How do you handle the allowance chat? So is it a matter of that you guys sit down with your child and you tell them, right, this is how much you are getting, or do you ask them how much do you need, or is it just left unspoken? So my parents just determined how much I get, then they just sent it, and then that was it. I didn't say, I just say thank you because I'm grateful. We wouldn't have any other conversation about it. They just send what they send. I'd be like, thanks. I assume that's my allowance. We give thanks, and we'd move from there. Did you have a conversation with your friends to be like, guys, I want this much, and they'll be like, no, Tabo, we want this much. We can only give you this much. This is the negotiation type of thing.
Yeah, we had a bit, but again, like my dad doesn't really negotiate. He would be great for the US government. He doesn't negotiate with terrorists. So really, he's one of those people where like he'd just be like, no, this is what we can give you. Because also the shitty thing is that my other brother was also in uni with me, so it was times 2. So at least this one has the benefit of like, okay, technically he might be able to get himself $400 because he's the only one studying. And
last ones have
it annoys me to death because he has 2 brothers that work and make money. And it's like, you can hustle your parents, now you can hustle your brothers. And it's like, what I would give to go back to uni and know I've got 2 older brothers that work. Bro, come on. I'd be living life. Especially brothers that know, they've been through the struggle. So it's like, I don't even need to explain.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Chief,
I get that.
You already know.
So it's like with Lindo. Lindo will probably, obviously the parents will sort her out with whatever, but she can still go to my older sister and be like, hey, I need this, and then she'll come to me when maybe she feels bad about exhausting her other options. Maybe she's exhausted, but there's like an element of, okay, this one, I'm gonna group in a bit. Hey.
Yep.
But I'm like way down in the
today.
Yeah, but I'm like
This one
way
next
down in the
month.
pecking order. I think she comes to me
And
when
you
it's now.
strategically placed yourself as broke.
Yeah, no, I identify as a broke boy. I was telling your wife, Taboguti Mina, I identify as a broke boy. I don't want anyone to think otherwise.
Mr. Moy, it's time. It's 12:30.
It is time.
Unless
It is time.
Yeah. Maybe we could relax. Let me. Is there even how many minutes in the game left is there now?
I think Cities is finished. Liverpool was
City
catching
finished
hands.
at 6.
Bro. Yeah.
But Cancelo scored. Siabo. We'll take that. Her Forest got weaved.
Bro.
Forest caught hands, fam.
They'll recover.
But yeah, anyway. Mr. Moy, this was a good one.
Yes.
I think we did it for the people them. Guys, buy me a coffee. It's set up. So yeah, buy us a couple of coffees. It is buy me a coffee /6 foot weights, and it's linked to the link tree on our social media page on Twitter. Yeah. As you know, obviously, big special thank you to Tinto for coming through. Again, it's not easy to share some of these things and laugh about it and talk about it. For some people, they don't get that lucky. It becomes a scar for the rest of your life. So glad for him that he's able to talk about these things and
put some humor in it,
cool.
dog. Like that's some traumatic stuff.
Absolutely.
A lot of us with one
Yeah, I know.
heartbreak were traumatized. To deal with stuff like this the way he has, it's brilliant. It's commendable.
Because OV6 will make it fast. I might need to look for a new thing. Chief, me, I'm on a weight loss plan. I couldn't to set up. But now, guys, like the thing, retweet the thing, subscribe to the thing, or else we are inclined to believe you're a hater. Mr. Moya.
Laters.